Welcome back to Realm of the Color Gods. Don't panic. I mean, sorry for not teaching you guys how to make all these machines, but honestly, yeah, I needed to make them, and it's not really that interesting. I mean, industrial craft, that has changed since last season. Now I need this machine in order to make a lot of stuff with any degree of efficiency and a centrifuge. Making silk wisp, which is used for upgrading backpacks, because I finally got have a decent quantity of that now, but not enough to upgrade a single dang backpack, because you need 9 of it to make a woven silk, and you need 7 of that in order to upgrade the backpack. Plus you need a carpenter, that's like one of the machines I didn't make yet. Anyway, this power system just is not cutting it, obviously. These two engines alone could not fully power a pulverizer, let alone all these machines that I'm got hooked up to the system. Sorry, our cat just jumped down from my bed. Anyway, I'll explain that when the time comes, and we'll be setting up this stuff for sure. It might have to wait till next episode because reasons. Anyway, this is an item return system. I have a couple things in here already. Basically, if I turn this redstone engine on, it begins pumping items out and into these chests. So, oh my gosh, it took a long time to get cherry wood of all things, because I could not find it and I needed it for the house. Anyway, you can sort of see the items flowing underneath that through that sandstone transport pipe. Then the second it hits a clay pipe, it's going to try to go into an inventory. If it can't, it'll move forward. And if I manage to fill all of these chests up, then it'll probably just pop out of the top and make a big mess. But hopefully that should not be an issue. And this ender pouch is linked to that ender chest, so if I toss, say, like a stack of cobblestone in there, which I actually want some of that, then it would be pumped out by the system. And since I have this whole area chunk loaded, that means that it works no matter where in the world I am. Anyway, a couple changes have gone down over here. Got some tanks to store the creosote oil because I just have that much of it. And experience oreberry farm, looking awesome as ever. Gonna start using this experience soon, but not really for enchanting, no. I do have plans for it. And by the way, this is an experience obelisk, the easiest way to store your experience so you don't lose it all when you die. So anyway, any guesses as to what I'm going to make with all of this random junk? Trust me, it's all gonna come together into a number of blocks. I'll let you guess the main one, but yeah, it's all gonna come together and make a gigantic thing that's gonna be really helpful. Also, it looks like the daylight cycle is locked again. Damn you, Desmo. Guess it means I won't be needing that sleeping bag anytime soon. Toss it in there for now. And also, these are natura bushes. They have a variety of berries. And if you craft all of them together with a couple of bowls, then you get this berry medley, which is really good. Surprisingly good. According to my test with the culinary generator, which is just a generator that runs on food. It's actually better than steak in terms of saturation restored. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. And then we move on to this eyesore. Yes, it's horrible. And I promise I'm going to fix it up this episode, because the reason I went out to get all that cherry wood is because like right there is the cherry wood. So at long last, I'm going to get to cleaning this thing up. So, yeah. Prepare for a time lapse in a matter of time, because I just need to get a few more things in order to fully do stuff. Yeah, I will want a scoop. Where's it? Okay, that's odd. How come when I start the chest, this scoop ends up here, but the other one all the way down there? Really weird. Okay. And, is that it? Yeah, I'm gonna need shears as well. Also, I made a backpack and a silk touch pickaxe. I made a bunch of tinker's tools. I figured out what I was doing wrong with the cleaver. Turns out it's a hidden recipe. You don't have a button for it. Instead, you just try to make a broadsword, but just put the full guard where the hand guard would go. So, yeah, quite the odd thing. I thought it wasn't supposed to be hidden, but oh well. Also, you can eat these even when you're still full. It'll just give you additional saturation, which is nice. Anyway, yeah, this thing is, it needs to be cleaned up. It really, really needs to be cleaned up. So, again, I'm terrible at segueing into time lapses, but, yeah, let's get to work. Alright, well, while not totally restored to its prime, I did get this a lot cleaned up. Thankfully, the tiles in this room are actually just variants of the same block, so I was able to use this chisel, just left click on everything to make it all fixed up, and I tried using dynamite to clear out the ectoplasm. It didn't exactly work, but then I discovered you can destroy it with a sword. So I'm missing a couple blocks there because dynamite is stupid and occasionally destroys it, even though I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to. Anyway, hopefully they don't call again. I'm not sure if I left that last bit of the time lapse in, but yeah, they called right as I was placing like the last bit of the windows, and yes, I threw off my entire thing. I'm glad the recording remained intact. Anyway, you guys. Alright, well, enough complaining. Gotta get this stuff. This chest is practically empty. Let's just throw a bunch of junk in there. Also, can I repair my scoops together? Yeah, yes, I can repair them. The place had a ton of bees in it, which is actually where I got my tropical bees, so, yeah. Anyway, second half of the episode. Time for the second half of the episode, and what better way to do it than with machines? Sure, that vocabulary makes sense. Anyway, unfortunately, since I do not have enough ender pearls, I'm not going to be able to make what this stuff is for. I mean, seriously, it requires a ludicrous amount of it. But they're good items. They're really good items. Put them both together, and I'll pretty much have mining down pat. There's a huge hint. Mining. Anyway, yeah, so as you can see, I did replace the redstone. I did put in redstone lamps, and yeah. So what I want to do today is upgrade this power system, because it's just not cutting it anymore. I mean, this is fine for like a beginner power setup, but no, not fine anymore. We're stupid NEI. Anyway, so what I'm building right now is a steam boiler. If you want to learn how to craft it, well, that's what NAI is for. I put up with those glitches for a reason. Anyway, this is a liquid-fueled steam boiler. It's basically this writ large, and it requires liquid fuels instead of solid. And I have a couple of quartz seeds down there. We're not going to be able to do anything with those for quite a while. Although, it may be as soon as the next episode, depending on how much time I spend off the server. Anyway, yeah, so basically my plan right now, at the very least, is to rip up all the old flux stock that's back there because it's not capable of supporting this system anymore. Desmo apparently wants me to, guess the name of him. Oh, come on! Come on, you guys! Just want to record an episode and you keep getting in my way! Next time I'm going to have to wait till you're offline in order to do this, because apparently you guys like interrupting my... In fact, so much to the point where, bam. Steal all of his experience. He bothers me far too much. You're bothering me. Get out of here. Holy jeez. It's like frickin' impossible to get anything done. Yeah, thanks for the cathedral kite, Morph. Dumbass. Wait until the episode. Then.
Good job!
Because I'm in the middle of upgrading all this stuff. So either come back when I'm not online so you don't bother me, or just wait until the flippin' episode. Of course, by the time I'm telling you this, you're already watching it! See, it didn't take that flippin' long, now did it? My gosh, people piss me off sometimes. Anyway, yeah, I'm dismantling all of this. Getting to the nitty-gritty of removing all this flux stuff. It can only handle 200 RF per tick. That's just not enough for these machines. So that's why I'm removing it all in favor of hardened flux stuff. Now, thankfully, it's a pretty straight upgrade. Pretty straight upgrade. I'm not even sure if that's a word. Yeah. I see Desmo still hanging around. I don't want you hanging around. Frickin' go away already. Wish you could hear my voice right now just to see how peeved off I am that you keep bugging me. Oh, yay. And I think I can just leave those two intact. Steam engines don't really need the upgrade. Or at least these steam engines don't. Yeah, let's get some Invar. I think I'm going to need more redstone in order to upgrade this. So yeah, let's put it together right here. That's where I've had glass panes, apparently. Also, something I noticed is that the crafting system in this mod pack is really lag-tastic. I have the console open on a secondary monitor, and it just keeps spitting out error after error after error. No, those are technically warnings. Warning after warning after warning about something related to machine muse. So yeah, fix your shit already, jeez. and that makes the crafting system occasionally quite laggy, so nothing I can do about it. Desmo's computer wouldn't play nice with Infinity, so we're having to do Direwolf. I don't like this pack as much. He doesn't have project tables. He doesn't have things like now I'm drawing the point. He doesn't have Harvest Craft, and even though there's a Harvest Craft configuration file, he doesn't have Harvest Craft, and that's really weird. And I think that's causing errors because like every time I log onto the server, there's a freaking chat spam worth of errors for something related to kill Harvest Craft. Apparently, I do not want that attaching there. Let's just touch that. Anyway, so this hardened flux duct can carry 800 RF per connection. So a lot more. I'm going to want to upgrade this energy cell too, but one thing at a time. Especially when Desmo's freaking annoying the crap out of me. Anyway, and like that. And there we go, we got an upgraded flux duct. And since it's upgraded, it has to refill with energy, because of course it does. I don't actually need that right there, because that's where a piece of dirt obstructs that. And then over here, oh, don't know if I ever noticed that. I apparently did not, because I don't have enough covers now. Alright, so that took a while, but I eventually got everything put together. Yeah, you see me actually crafting a few machines for a change. Yeah. So this is the Magma Crucible. I've gone over it kind of briefly. Never really showed off its true purposes, but anyway, I'm going to have it automatically eject liquid into this fluid transposer, which is going to be essential for what I'm about to make. Because this energy cell is not going to cut it much longer. Neither are the engines, but I'll keep those there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut down the computer. Control S, because it's just going to crash the program the second I remove the energy cell. Anyway, actually, I do still want that there. These things do need power. A lot of power, in fact. The Magma Crucible, by default, can consume 400 redstone flux per tick. That's 10 times as much as a pulverizer. So yeah, just imagine that. Anyway, so I'm gonna need to melt down some redstone. I don't remember how much. I believe I need 1,000. 1,000 for this? No, 4,000 apparently. 4,000! Well, that equates to 4 of these and then 4 of the dust. So let me just put the 4 dust in first. That's going to melt it down into destabilized redstone, and as you see, it went straight into the fluid transposer. Once it's in the fluid transposer, we're going to put it into an energy cell frame, but not a hardened one. No, we're going to do the next tier up, which I think is just called a redstone energy cell. Let's increase the output of that now that the flux duct can handle it. Not that flux ducts will explode if you give them too much energy, unlike how it is with certain mods. Actually, I don't think Industrial Craft does that anymore either. So, gonna want to craft a redstone energy cell frame, and I can't use... Okay. That's kind of dumb. Oh well. Energy. So these are a bit pricier than the old ones. Require hardened glass, an electrum, and a diamond. But I'm pretty good on diamonds. Aside from like the 15 I reserved for the machine I'm gonna make to help my mining things. It's not that... I have 7, so that's not bad considering what point of the game I'm in. So I need a bit of electrum. Not that much. Where's silver? Oh, I have silver right there. What I'm really glad about is that the alloy smelter from Ender.io has a lot of the same recipes as the induction smelter, except it doesn't do the sand and has some exclusive things because it has an additional slot. But regardless, I'm gonna put the electrum here, and I do need hardened glass. Scares me when my game lags like that. So I'm going to actually make fused quartz. Fused quartz works as well, and it's actually easier to make because, as you can see, I don't exactly have a lot of lead. Thermal expansion is very heavy in the lead department for some reason, and not a whole lot of it generates in the world, so I'm better off just melting up quartz and using this instead. Fused quartz is kind of an equivalent to hardened glass. I mean they're ore dictionary with each other, so that has to mean something, right? Gotta make an energy cell frame, and then good. All my redstone is melted down. You plop this in the fluid transposer, and that fluid transposer inserts this liquid into this energy cell frame. As you can see, it can do that with things like item ducts to upgrade those, and it can also put stuff into containers and extract from containers. But main purpose here, we're putting a bunch of redstone into this cell, and then we actually need to craft this sucker using more electrum, a bit of lead, and then a conductance coil. So, always needing more electrum. Good riddance. And also I need a couple lead. I know my inventory is stuffed, but forgive me. And after this, I'm going to do one last thing involving this boiler. Yeah, okay, so we got that. We should be able to attune this thing now. Attune is not the right word, I'm sorry. Put that there. Electrum around like that. A bit of lead, and bam! Redstone energy cell. This used to be the only type of energy cell that was in thermal expansion, but yeah, 1.7. So yeah, nice, and it's charging up from the... Oh, it's charging up from the back. Did not appreciate that. I want that outputting on the back. Tip, if you shift click, it resets everything to not do anything. So, gonna want blue on those sides. And I might want to upgrade this flux duct after all. And figure out what I'm gonna do with this hardened energy cell. I think I'm just gonna, for the time being, reset everything and just put the stuff in here. Alright, so yeah, what am I gonna do with this? Well, I'm gonna put down some hardened flux duct, of course. The good stuff. And I'm going to get my engines. You probably saw them when I pulled out the fluid transposer. Bam! 6 industrial steam engines. These suckers are much more powerful than these, but they require an external boiler. So all you have to do is just place them against it like that. Trust me, they'll get steam. You don't need a pipe or anything between them. And I do kind of want to keep these engines. Just going to tear down the leadstone flux ducts because I feel like I need to upgrade them after all. Which thankfully is very easy. Thermal expansion is nice unless you upgrade your lower tire stuff to tire up. Not once you get to the reinforced tire though, or, well, technically you can do that with machines, but not with ducts for some reason. And bam. Alright. Now of course, we don't have liquid fuel to use in this thing, but you see it fills up with water, it's got a steam gauge, and these engines don't have anywhere to put stuff in them, so you need to externally power them. And speaking of powering them, might want to get some redstone. Like red alloy wire. Yeah, I made some of these earlier because that's how I wired up my redstone lamps. So by a single flick of the lever you can turn them all on or off. And I need to get up there. And you can place the red alloy wires right against the boiler. That's quite neat. So yeah, saves you a couple bucks. And then I always like using insulated wire whenever the uninsulated stuff isn't necessary. Just makes it feel cleaner, I think. And as for the redstone, I don't know. I might want to upgrade this controller to be able to handle the boiler as well. But for now, I think a simple lever will do. So in that case, let's make a lever. Yeah, by the way, the secret to controlling these engines all the time was just redstone output from the controller. Anyway, so yeah, that's a major upgrade, but we're still going to need more. And by more, I mean like things like fuel. And thankfully, I know where a bunch of oil wells are. So yeah, next episode we're probably going to be setting up a refinery so that we can make fuel to run this boiler. Isn't that going to be awesome? Of course, it's going to be running at a very modest pace at the beginning because I'm going to need to rely on these engines until this boiler can heat up sufficiently to power these guys. Also, they are loud. I remember these engines get really loud because they like getting up all the way to the red phase. So right before I log off for today, if I can make it, I'm going to make a sound muffler. This is an uber convenient block. You guys deserve to know about it. Alright, it looks like I have enough of the stuff. So basically, you just need to get a bunch of wool, and you surround something with it. I forget what. Let's check recipe mode together. Like I'm so fond of doing on camera because I don't know what I'm doing otherwise, and that's a lot of recipes, so screw that. Sound muffler. It's an extra utilities block, and it's just in a block. Okay. Very simple. Let's just do that right over here. And note block. And sound muffler. Now, of course, since my game volume is turned all the way down, it won't... Well, not all the way but down, but it's really quiet anyway, so it won't be too bothersome, I hope. But in the instance in which this is becoming quite the loud issue, I'm going to go ahead and put the sound muffler somewhere. I think I'm going to bury it underneath the steam boiler, because the radius is big and I like to hear my machines, so... yeah, I'm just going to bury it, slide it under here, and there you can see the spot where I ran wiring. So I'm just going to bury that in the corner right there. No harm, no foul. Let's get some dirt, fill that in. And you might already be able to tell that it's making the sound of placing blocks quieter. So yeah, it's going to quiet down those engines for me. And if it gets to the point where I want sound back in this room, I can move the boiler. It's going to be a bit of a nuisance to move a boiler, but whatever. Anyway, it is long past the wrapping up point. So, you guys know the drill by now. I don't need to say it again, but I guess I'll say it anyway because it's only tradition, I guess. If you like the episode, well, like the video, and if you hate my guts because I think Steven Universe should air more often, then go ahead and do that. But we're making progress. We're almost to the point where we can do something really major and something really good. I'll give you one last hint about it. I'm going to need to expand this storage system. I'm going to do something like this retrieval system, and it's just probably sorted a bit better, honestly. So, and guys, definitely leave a guess as to what I'm going to use all this stuff to make. One last hint, I'm only missing enchanted books and ender pearls. I need a crap ton of ender pearls for this, so yeah. If you have any ideas for what all this stuff is going to compile into, leave them in the comments for me to check and guess and whatever. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy, and come back for when we finally build the massive machine thing I'm going to have with all of this. See you next time.
Hello! Hey, man. Now it's time for the final battle. Magic missile!